Our story begins in a high school where we see some teenage boys playing volleyball. There is a group of girls watching the game from the side, cheering on their lovely senpais. Amongst the crowd of girls, we see our main character, Kai Serenuma, in the crowd, getting a little bit too excited from the gay fantasies she has on the senpais playing volleyball, like some kind of fandoms. In the middle of her fantasies, one of our senpais ran towards the crowd of girls to receive the ball and accidentally crashed into Kai, causing a whole earthquake with her fat ass. Kai then passes out while the blonde named Nanashima is asking her if she is fine or not. I mean, look at her. Does she look fine to you? She wakes up in the infirmary with her friend next to her. She is They are both something you call fujoshi, which are girl otakus that are addicted to boy romance. Furthermore, Kai is an expert when it comes to boy romance, as she can make gay fantasies out of boys she never met. Amid all the fantasy between them, a boy named Shinomiya opens the curtains and asks them to leave, as her fat ass is taking up all the space in the infirmary. They left, and on their way back to their classroom, they met a nice tall boy called Mitsumi, who asked if Kai was all right from the injury. Their conversation is boring, so I will be skipping that. Well, after that, Kai and enter their classroom, and Nanashima apologizes for crashing into her. While Kai asks if he had any injury, Nanashima says that he is all right, as her world-sized tummy shielded him from the collision. Damn, I cannot believe he doubled down on her like that. Everyone laughed at the joke, but Nanashima's friend, Igarashi, apologized for Nanashima's rudeness. However, Kai is not bothered about the joke, as she just sees them as Deku and Bakugo in her otaku eyes. I mean, even is speechless about her fantasies. God, this otaku is helpless. After school, Kai and walked home together, and they talked about how their favorite anime character, Shion, is going to take a big part in tonight's episode. I am sure nothing will happen to our popular and charming Shion, right? Well, he dies, and Kai went berserk like all the Gojo fans after a certain chapter of JJK. After Shion's death, is worried about her, as she has not been at school for a whole week. It turns out that Kai has locked herself inside her room and mourned over Shion's death for over a week, with her tears being the only form of nutrition. Her mom and older brother had enough of this, and his brother, Takuro, busted open her door FBI style and pulled her out of the bed. But what they did not expect is what came out of the covers. Kai reluctantly went to the toilet and washed her face while she saw a beautiful poster on the mirror. She tries to rub the mirror. Wait, what? Do not tell me that she turned into a beauty after all that. Kai is just as freaked out as I am. A week ago, she was still an average otaku, but now she is still an average otaku, but hot. Anyways, she finally goes to school the next day, and the second she steps foot on the campus, people start looking at her. The same situation happens when she enters the classroom, as no one has seen this beautiful girl before. Feeling very embarrassed, she ran towards and explained what happened in the past few days. Only recognized by her voice, shouted, "Is that you, Kai-chan?" After realizing who she really is, everybody is shocked and bombarded Kai with questions like, "Drop the skincare routine. How did you get so hot? What cup size are those?" Seeing how overwhelmed Kai looked, Igarashi pulls her away from the crowd and tells the class to chill out. Kai thanked him for helping, and Igarashi blushed. At the same time, Nanashima cannot believe what he is seeing, but then he starts praying for her downfall. Kai started crying and ran, which somehow made Nanashima blush. Pause. Now you would think she cried because she cannot handle the disrespect, but she is just crying since Nanashima looks like Shion. She crashed into Shinomiya in the hallway, and Shinomiya turns into the nicest human being alive after witnessing her beauty, taking her to the infirmary, although she is fine. In the infirmary, they meet Mitsumi. Kai has a conversation with Mitsumi, and right when Mitsumi refers to Kai by her name, Shinomiya is shocked and runs as he cannot comprehend the glow up. After school, Kai is preparing to leave, but she is stopped by Igarashi, who asked her out on a movie date. However, he is stopped by Nanashima, who also wanted to ask her out, who is stopped by Shinomiya and Mutsumi. Suddenly, All 4 guys wanted Kai's attention. Somehow, it ended with all 5 of them going on a movie date on Sunday. We then transitioned to Kai in A's room, where she dressed Kai up for the occasion, since Kai's old clothes are all oversized for her now. Kai asks if A's boyfriend knows that she is an otaku or not. A says no, and adamantly states that her date would be over if they find out that Kai's is a weeb. It is finally Sunday. All 4 boys have arrived incredibly early, waiting for Kai, who is hiding behind a corner, making fantasies with those fine men who are waiting for her. It did not take long until Igarashi spotted her, and everyone blushed over Kai. They enter the cinema with Kai being determined that she will not make a single fantasy. Yes, she folded immediately. After the movie, Kai uses the toilet, and when she comes out, Igarashi takes her arm and guides them to the photo booth secretly to have some alone time. But it did not take long for a bloodthirsty Nanashima to stop them. After the movie, they went to McDonald's and sang karaoke, which had anime-related products that almost made Kai slip up. Just when she thought the arduous day was over, she heard a loud and clear voice from a nearby 711 store clerk's. He yelled, "Shion limited merchandise are for sale just for today." Kai could not contain herself, and she ran straight into the store knowing damn well her reputation would be finished. She came out of the convenience store looking like God with a body pillow of Shion wrapped tightly in her arms. She then explained how important Shion is to her life, but this is the only response she got. She proceeded to do the walk of shame. However, Mutsumi stopped her, telling her that she could like whatever she wants, because he likes how her eyes shine brightly when she is doing stuff she likes. Seeing this, the rest of them went with the flow too. The night ended with Kai taking their reluctant asses into the store for more anime products. Good luck, you normies. After the splurge in the store, Kai gave each of them a Shion keychain. Yes, they definitely enjoyed the gift. The next day, Igarashi and Nanashima are having a chat. Nanashima is uncertain with trying to date her, as the otaku trait is a turnoff for him. They entered the gym and saw Kai dominating in sports, so much so that the football team invited her to help in an upcoming game. However, Kai would not know what she has gotten herself into, as she has not kicked a ball before. During lunch, Kai asks if Nanashima can help her out in training, but Nanashima refuses, as she could not learn how to kick a football in just a few days. Things turned south when Kai says the ball is her friend, and she will win if she never backs down and never gives up, which angered me and Nanashima. I know everyone acknowledges the fact that she is an otaku, but she does not have to say those corny anime lines in public. Nanashima shouted at her that it is not that easy to kick a football. Then he walked away. This made Kai even more ambitious, as she wanted to prove him wrong and win. During practice, Kai just could not keep up with the rest of the team. After school, Nanashima was walking back home when he saw Kai staying at school after practice. He also witnessed how terrible Kai is as a footballer. I mean, just look at this clip. Seeing how hopeless she is, Nanashima walked into the field and decided to help her out. It is finally time for the game. They are losing by 1 goal. When the team morale is down, Kai stepped up and asked the team to pass her the ball. She must be feeling like Isagi right now with that ego. They passed her the ball, and with her special shooting technique, she managed to score and win the game later. Laughing at aside, Nanashima has officially fallen in love with Kai, as she finds this girl remarkably interesting. The second week back at school, Kai is already greeted with a bunch of notes and books. It turns out that she has missed a lot of lessons when she was in solitary after Shion's death, and now she must pay the price and revise for a test that will determine if she needs extra lessons during the holiday. However, our angel Mutsumi comes and saves the day. He volunteered to help her revise for the test. The others joined in too, as they could not let Kai alone with Mutsumi. They start studying in the library. Everything is going well until Nanashima and Shinomiya start arguing about who is the smarter one, causing a lot of noise in the library. They booted out the library server. After that, they went to a coffee shop where the same experience happened again. Without a place to study, Igarashi suggested going to Kai's home. Everyone apart from Kai agreed, so it was set. Kai is now facing a huge problem. Her room is a mess, and all the boys will pull up in less than an hour. She immediately stacks all her boy romance manga in her closet and shuts it. Everyone arrived, and they all sat in Kai's room. When Kai left the room, Nanashima started looking around the place, and the moment he opened her covers, they just could not escape the presence of Shion. Takuro heard from his mom that Kai got company over, and they are all handsome boys, being the opposite of an overprotective brother. He ran into the room and exposed Kai for being an otaku, but of course, they all knew already. Unsatisfied, Takuro opened her closet, and all her sussy mangas started to pour out. Kai and Takuro then went into a fight, but our angel Mutsumi came in clutch again. He pushed Takuro out of the room and shut the door. Now, everything is fine, and they can finally revise. Eventually, Kai passed her test, and they can finally enjoy their lovely holiday together. Psych. That's the wrong idea. Kai spent the holiday with in a lot of VTuber concerts without the boys. After the holidays, everyone is back at school, and it is time to prepare for the cultural festival next month. When the class president asked what theme they should do, the boys instantly screamed, "Maid Cafe!" When most of the girls disagreed, Kai stood up and supported the idea with a lustful smile on her face. So I guess we all know what she wants, right? During lunch, Kai is so excited for the festival that she volunteers to prepare the costume for Igarashi and Nanashima. Mutsumi will be helping the history department. So now everyone's attention is on Shinomiya, who is reluctant to reveal what he will be doing for the festival. Under pressure, he reveals that his class is going to perform a play and he would play the role of a princess. This triggers Kai's Fujoshi instincts as she wants to make the most of this opportunity to create the perfect princess. After a little help with making the outfits, by little I mean a lot. It is the day before the festival, all of them are leaving school together, when suddenly Igarashi stopped and stated that he is done with this type of relationship as he wants to have more alone time with Kai. Everyone had an epiphany and agreed, but none of them are willing to give alone time for each other. So they came up with a solution where they will be having separate dates with Kai at different time slots while completely ignoring Kai's opinion. It is finally time for the cultural festival. First, we have Nanashima going on a date with Kai. The date started being bad as their costumes got too much attention. However, Nanashima saved them by bringing them to a photo booth to take pictures together. At this moment, Nanashima tried to lean in for a kiss, but it was denied by Mutsumi as it is time for his date with Kai. Mutsumi takes Kai to rest and have a break from the day. While he goes to buy food for them, Mutsumi feeds her with his balls, which makes Kai blush. During Igarashi's date, he brings Kai to watch Shinomiya play. This cheeky boy held Kai's hand like it was nothing, but this is enough to make an otaku's mind overflow. Shinomiya brought Kai to a haunted house for his date in order to prove his masculinity in front of Kai. But everything went the opposite way until in one of the scares, they tripped and he fell onto Kai's milkers. Embarrassed by this, Kai ran off at a faster pace than Sonic, following Shinomiya coming out of the haunted house blessed. Kai ran to the stairs where she met She complained to how stressful the individual dates were. Sighed and left to buy her some drinks. Just as she left, some delinquents from another school tried to approach Kai and riz her up. But Kai was not feeling it at all as she gave him the hardest uppercut. The delinquents wanted revenge and grabbed her arm. Luckily, Igarashi popped out of nowhere and pushed one of the delinquents onto the ground. Later on, all the boys had showed up and they got straight to fighting. Kai tried to stop the fight, but no one listened to her again. Kai had enough and shouted at them, making them stop with her conqueror's haki. We then transitioned to Kai crying in front of his dates, complaining how stressful and pushy the dates were as they only thought about how they could develop a closer relationship faster without thinking about how she feels. They all apologized and promised to take things slow. After this, They went back to the festival and had fun together. When things are looking peaceful and normal, a new challenge has approached.